everyone, a very warm welcome to Hiatuz channel. Today we're going to talk about 5 pillars of GATE preparation. What are these 5 pillars and how to work on each of the pillar? First, let me list them. The very first pillar is the high school basics. The second pillar is the conceptual clarity in engineering subjects. Third pillar is aptitude. The fourth pillar is past year questions and the fifth pillar is problem solving. Now, how to work on each of them and why each of them are important for GATE preparation. The very first thing is the basics. Now, there was a time during my preparation when a certain maths question required for me to remember 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. And when I remembered that and solved the formula, someone sitting next to me was so surprised, how do you remember that? And I was surprised that how can you not remember that? But that day, I learned a very important lesson, that if you are not good with your high school basics, with certain tips and tricks that you learn in high school itself, then those will affect your problem solving in the current engineering problems. So yes, you need to be good with your high school basics. Now, how to work on this if you are not good with it? Firstly, remember that 1 year is not enough for GATE preparation if your high school basics are not good enough. So take 2 years and plan accordingly. That is how you can develop your high school basics. In the first year, try to develop your engineering subjects along with high school basics. And in the second year, you can then start working on the GATE level of questions. The second pillar was conceptual clarity of engineering subjects. Now, in GATE 2022 electrical paper, there was a question in control systems which involved Nyquist stability criteria, which involved knowing about the basics of Nyquist criteria, like how did it come about. If you know n is equal to z minus p only, then it may not help you. You needed to know something beyond. How did that n is equal to z minus p come about? So when you know that, when you know the basics of how something has come about in the engineering subject, then only you will be able to solve certain trick questions in the GATE exam. So yes, conceptual clarity is very, very important. Now the third pillar is aptitude. Aptitude, like I have mentioned in one of my previous videos, is very important for GATE exam, and this involves an out-of-the-box thinking. And how will you develop an out-of-the-box thinking? Once again, there are a lot of ways to develop aptitude, and it's not just about solving a lot of aptitude questions. It is about being able to see things differently, which you will be able to get when you have different experiences in life, when you travel more or talk with a lot of people, or you have some hobbies that you're working on, extracurricular activities. So make sure that you are able to work on, you have a life beyond your preparation time. If you have only 1 year for preparation, then still make some time to at least exercise in your life. So that will also work as something that will affect your aptitude skills. Now the fourth pillar is the past year questions. A lot of people say that I have been doing past year questions, but I'm still not able to get it. See, remember that doing past year question doesn't only mean that you solve the question, you got it, and it is right. You need to know if the concept that the past year question is based on is something that you are clear about. That is the first thing. Okay, you need to be clear about the concepts, the base concepts of that past year question. And also, you need to be more familiar with the past year questions. So during the revision time, what you could do is you can work on just referring the solutions. You don't have to solve all the questions all over again, but just refer the solutions just so that you can remember those problems, those techniques well enough. And when in the exam of the same question or the same concept comes, then that topic, then that concept, immediately it strikes you and you are able to apply it in a very fast manner. So yes, past year questions, not only will you work on them in the beginning, if possible, solve them twice, and also revise it when you are actually giving the exam, a few weeks or a few months before the actual exam. And the final pillar is problem solving. Now, reading theory is important, but problem solving is also important. So make sure that you are spending enough time, at least half as much time as you are spending on theory. If you are able to spend on problem solving, then it is going to be beneficial for you. If you are a naturally good problem solver, then that's not a problem. Then you can afford to lose a bit of problem solving time. But if you're not a naturally good problem solver, then you have to ensure that you are spending enough time on problem solving. And these 5 pillars, if you follow meticulously, then you are going to crack the exam.